Shalom, back with part 2. It is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom. All right. So we want to go to the blue letter. All right. Okay. And get into this. So again, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. This is why he speaks in parable, because it's not given on to all of Israel. And it's not even given on to the world. Okay? And let's prove that to you quickly here, that it's not given on to the world. All right? Before we go to the blue letter. All right? Let's go to St. John's. Okay? What is that? St. John's 14:17, I believe. See here? Even the Spirit of truth. Who's the Spirit of truth? The same one who's the Spirit of prophecy. That's Yahushua, right? He is the way, he is the door, he is the life, right? He's the straight gate, okay? That narrow passage, which is the only way in to the kingdom, all right? And few there be that find it, all right? So even the Spirit of truth, who is Yahushua, whom the world cannot receive. I repeat, the world cannot receive, including 2/3 of Israelites who are blinded. Okay? Let's prove that. Pursuant to Zechariah 13:8, 2/3 of Israelites will be cut off and die on this side. But again, they still get the kingdom because the Israelites, they'll have to be reborn in the kingdom as the children of the elect. Okay? So where do I want to take you? Oh, yeah. Let's go here. All right? What did I say? Yeah. Romans. You go to Romans 11:7. All right? What then? Israel, speaking of Israel as a whole, have not obtained that which is seeking for. Right? And what are they seeking for? Salvation. Right? The kingdom. Right? But the election have obtained it. And we're going to get into that word. The election. Okay? We're going to get into that. Maybe we should do that right now too, before we get back. Right? The election have obtained it. Okay? And the rest were what? Those 2/3. What about the rest of Israel? Outside of the elect, the 1/3. Because it's only the 1/3 the Lord is dealing with, and that's who he's coming back for. All right? And we read that again. That's all throughout the scriptures, whether you're reading Isaiah 45:4. All right? Jacob, you know, my elect, Israel. You understand? It tells you Zechariah 13:9, all right? It is the 1/3 that he is going to bring in through the fire, okay? Matthew 24:31, and he shall send his angels at the sound of the trumpet to gather who? The whole world? No. To gather his elect from the four winds, north, south, east, west, from one end of heaven unto the other. You understand, people? You see that? But what is it that the churches, these false pastors, ministers, popes, priests, cardinal bishops, all right, whatever self-imposed titles they have placed upon themselves, what have they been telling you and have brainwashed you into believing? You go around calling yourself Christians, and you go around talking about, well, the Lord is coming back for everybody. The Lord loves everybody. That is not scriptural, people. Okay? Didn't we just finish reading that the Spirit of truth the world cannot receive? All right? They can't receive it. It's not given unto them. Okay? Because they seeth not, okay, and they knoweth him not. Okay? Who do they see? Who do they know? The deceptions and lies that were given unto you. You know that Charles Manson looking Edomite, who's a homosexual sodomite, Cesar Borgia, son of Pope Rodrigo Borgia. Again, this was created for you. And there's nothing new under the sun. They did the same thing when they first came into power, the Edomites, the Macedonian kingdom, calling themselves the Greeks. Okay? And who was that? Ptolemy the First, after they conquered Egypt, he made his son, Ptolemy the Second, a god, and named him Serapis Christos. Hello, people. Does that help you? Can you see it now? Serapis Christos. You got it? And then they repeated the same act when they came back into power for the third and final time during the Renaissance. Remember, this is after they took down, the Byzantine Empire. Because remember, Jakes were ruling. Okay, there was a Western and an Eastern. And the Western Roman Empire had fallen. The Edomites had fallen and were taken out of power. The Greco-Roman empires were taken down, and they would go be in a spiritual chain. They go back to their cave for 1,000 years. While the Byzantine Empire, Jakes ruled all of Europe. And again, that's why it's known as iconoclasm, all right, because it tells you in what is that? Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Okay, he covereth the faces of the judges. Who the hell do you think the judges are? The Most High, Yahweh, his son, Yahushai, and who? The patriarchs, the Israelites. Okay, they started putting up their own images. And one of those images was giving you this false, God for you to worship. That's idolatry, people. You people don't understand these scriptures, and you certainly don't understand history. All right? Now, were we all caught up into that? Were we all presented with some form of Christianity? Yes, we were. But the ones that are out, that have been taken out of the darkness and brought into his marvelous light, as we read in 1 Peter 2:9 and 10, you understand? Because we're going to be what? Immortal God, kings and priests of the earth, the judges. Do you understand? The kingdom of heaven, this earth, was made for our sakes. You'll also read that in 2nd Esdras. Okay? 2nd Esdras 6:54-56. All right? The other nations were simply created to serve us as part of our birthright. Okay? You understand? All right? All right. So, as you could see, all of Israel have not obtained what is seeketh for, but the election have obtained it. All right? Let's do that. Let's go back here. All right? Before we go into mysteries. All right? Show you about the election. We'll go to the blue letter. All right? And then we'll get into the word mysteries. All right? So we'll come back to that. Let's go to the 2 Peter 1:10. All right? We're going to get into the word election here. All right? Now you see, wherefore, rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling. Diligence means to be a workman. All right? Never taking your hand off the plow, being continuous in doing the work. All right? Putting up your videos, going out there, street teaching. Do you understand? There's no days off, people. All right? There are no days off. All right? To make your calling, calling gets into the word invite, invitation. You have to be invited in. You don't walk in unawares into the council of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And again, he chooses you. You don't choose him. All right? What is that? St. John's 15:16. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. You people understand? You get it? All right? But let's get into the word election. Again, so, brethren, give diligence to make your calling, your invitation, right? Your invite, an election. You've been elected. You've been chosen. A sure thing. Now, if you do these things, right? Never taking your hand off the plow, being continuous, all right? You do all the things you've been commanded to do to the best of your ability, including trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, which you're not going to keep them perfectly, okay, because you're in your captivity. But again, according to Judges 5 and 11, this is a rehearsal, all right, for the kingdom. For if you do these things, ye shall never fall. You see? Let's get into the word, all right, of election, all right, to show you people, all right? This is why you have to get into the words, people, all right? Eklage, election, all right? I'm going to click on eklage.
Strong's G 1589, eklage, eklage.
See, what does it say here? The act of picking out and choosing, right? The act of the Most High's free will, by which before the foundation of the world, you see that? Before the world began, he decreed, he ordained his blessings to certain persons. You're going to find out those certain persons are only amongst Israel, no other nation, okay? So that means among the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. You understand that? All right? They were chosen to come into the mysteries of the kingdom. All right? They were the ones who were chosen that would come into the understanding of this truth, wisdom, and knowledge of these scriptures, these mysteries, these hidden secrets. Okay? It would be them. Starting with our elders on down. All right? See, so the decree, right, was ordained, made from choice, you see. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, by which he determined to bless certain persons, right, certain individuals, and you'll see it within Israel, all right, in a moment, through Yahushai by grace alone, okay? In other words, through his mercies. These people would receive mercy. All right. A thing or person chosen. You see, a person's God's elect, right? Going to scroll up here. All right. And we're going to hit root word etymology. All right. Now, before we continue, I'm going to end this here. We're going to come back with part 3, and we're going to pick it up right here. All right. When we come back with part 3. So, Shalom, we'll be right back with part 3.